amateur astronomers will now be able to see the hit on Friday at 4:30 a.m. In San Francisco, I'm Tokyo Mitchell from AA News.
Hello, this is Tokyo Mitchell reporting. Police in Santa Mateo have arrested a I've messed up.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'm Takia Mitchell. Today in the news, police in Santa Mateo have arrested a peninsula couple in connection with the burglary of Sonoma home owned by a family killed in car crash over the weekend. Santa Mateo police say they arrested 29-year-old Amber Maria True for driving with a suspended license and then discovered she was carrying credit card belonging to one of the victims of Saturday's crash. John and Susan Maloney and their 2 young children died in that crash after a teenage driver ran a red light and slammed into their minivan on Highway 37. 3 nights later, their house was burglarized and 3 silver sports car was stolen. Officers tracked down and arrested True's boyfriend, Michael Gutierrez, at the couple's Redwood City home, where they found most of the stolen items, including the Melanie's sports car. Also, Governor Schwarzenegger was on Treasure Island today, announcing a new climate change strategy to manage the effects of global warming in California. He unveiled a map showing in red some of the $2.5 trillion in state infrastructure he says could be threatened by rising coastal water. The Cal ADAPT program calls for better water management, energy conservation, and more power from renewable sources. The snowy white slopes of Lake Tahoe ski resorts are getting good grades for being green. The Ski Area Citizens Coalition have given Alpine Meadows, Homewood Mountain, Sugar Bowl, and Squirrel River an A for responding to climate change concerns as well as for watershed and habitat protection. Burrell, Kirkwood, Mount Rose, and Sahara at Tahoe got Bs, while Heavenly and North Star at Tahoe rated C grades. An Oakland Raiders fan from thousands of miles away is sending team owner Al Davis a very public message. It's written on a billboard on Interstate 880 near the Oakland Coliseum. It reads, "Mr. Davis, do the right thing, hire a GM." The fan from Pennsylvania rallied his fellow fans on an internet forum and raised money for the billboard. The Raiders appear headed toward their 7th straight losing season. So far, the Raiders and Davis have had nothing to say publicly about the sign. Good morning, I'm Tokyo Mitchell, and in today's news, up until the release of Stronger, Britney Spears has not yet truly made the leap from teen pop star to femme fatale. Director Joseph Kahn, who has worked on several music videos with Spears, said, quote, "I think this video is interesting because it's got a very sophisticated adult look to it," end quote. Spears wasn't afraid to get sexy in the clip, even if her handlers were a bit nervous that she was going too far. With the release of Britney Spears' The Singles Collection, MTV's News is looking With the release of Britney Spears' The Singles Collection, MTV's News is looking back on pop star's career through the interviews with video directors, music industry insiders, and Spears herself, as she reflects on some of her greatest hits. Also, the 10-year-old 5th grader from Mississippi, Elizabeth Dampier, does not receive any royal treatment at home, even though she is the voice of Princess Tiana, the female character in the new Disney animated movie, The Princess and the Frog, opening nationwide this weekend. Elizabeth says she is very similar to the character. Just like Tiana likes to cook, Elizabeth said she'd also like to own her own restaurant when she grows up, unless she makes it big as an actress or decides to run a toy store. This will be Elizabeth's first movie. The movie is set in 1920s Louisiana, forcing Elizabeth to learn the New Orleans accent. The director, Ron Clement, said she learned her lines and took direction well. With major releases from some of the biggest names in music slated to hit stores over the next 6 weeks, this shopping season is packed with one of the biggest bumper crop of anticipated in years. Thanksgiving week will blow things out as turkey-stuffed shoppers will be able to choose from 2 Beyoncé albums, a live disc called I Am Yours, an intimate performance at Wayne Las Vegas, as well as deluxe edition of her I Am Sasha Fierce album. She'll be fighting for attention with deluxe edition of Britney Spears, the Singles Collection, and Rihanna's Rated R. Please go to MTV.com to hear about the other albums that will be coming out during the holiday season. San Francisco police are working to build a case against Steve Free, a 31-year-old who is accused of being the man behind Giraffa, a tag often accompanied by a cartoon giraffe that has showed up in 5 Bay Area counties. Free was arrested October 27th on a $100,000 bail. Roman Cesario, the art director of 1AM, a graffiti art gallery, said, quote, "To catch a felony for painting a wall, something that can be fixed, that's a tough pill to swallow," end quote. In San Francisco, a group has already started collecting money to help Free with his legal fees. Good morning, I'm Tokyo Mitchell, and in today's news, up until the release of Stronger, Britney Spears has not yet truly made the leap from teen pop star to femme.
Yeah, no rolling. So you got tossed out on Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Yes.
You want to be on-air talent for MTV. I see where you're coming from. I do. So you are going to have a pretty good perspective, I expect, on this fine city of San Francisco's liberal politics. Go ahead and tell me about that.
Coming from Philadelphia and the New York area, there's a lot of similarities between the two states. There's a broader LGBT or lesbian, gay, transgendered, bisexual arena, which I'm very excited about, being a part of. Also, I noticed before coming out here doing a little bit of research that there is a lack of African American support with the LGBT community, so I plan on doing a lot of volunteer work with that, and I look forward to that aspect, I guess.
What'd that feel like?
Nervous.
Yeah.
A cloud of suspicion remains tonight over the foster parents of missing 5-year-old Hassani Campbell. Lewis Ross was released from jail last night after the district attorney's office determined there was not enough evidence to charge him with murder. But Oakland police say they may rearrest Ross and his fiancée, Jennifer Campbell. Campbell was released from jail on Monday for lack of evidence. Both Ross and Campbell maintain their innocence and say they will continue to search for Hassani. The Vermont-based Ben & Jerry's ice cream is celebrating the legalization of same-sex marriages in that state. For the month of September, the ice cream company is changing the name of its popular Chubby Hubby ice cream to Hubby Hubby. At this point, it will only be sold under that name in Vermont. Gay weddings began taking place in Vermont at 1 minute after midnight yesterday. A cloud of suspicion remains tonight over the foster parents of missing 5-year-old Hassani Campbell. Lewis Ross was released from jail last night after the district attorney's office determined there was not enough evidence to charge him with murder. But Oakland police say they may rearrest Ross and his fiancée, Jennifer Campbell. Campbell was released from jail on Monday for lack of evidence. Both Ross and Campbell maintain their innocence and say they will continue to search for Hassani. The Vermont-based Ben & Jerry's ice cream is celebrating the legalization of same-sex marriage in that state. For the month of September, the ice cream company is changing the name of popular Chubby Hubby ice cream to Hubby Hubby. At this point, it will only be sold under that name in Vermont. Gay weddings began taking place in Vermont at 1 minute after midnight yesterday.
How'd you like that transition?
It was kind of a shocking story out of Audiac tonight An 11-year-old girl who was kidnapped from South Lake Tahoe was turned up alive 18 years later. Police found that J.C. DeGard, who is now 29 years old, was held hostage in a backyard fortress of tents and sheds. Investigators discovered that she now has two daughters, 11 and 15 years old, who police believe were fathered by alleged kidnapper, 58-year-old Philip Garado. DeGard was kidnapped as she waited for a bus on the way to school. Garado is now behind bars, charged with kidnapping, rape, and conspiracy. His 15-year-old wife, Nancy, is facing some of the same charges. Yeah, that's all. A shocking story out of Antioch tonight. An 11-year-old girl who was kidnapped from South Lake Tahoe has turned up alive 18 years later. Police found that J.C. DeGard, who is now 29 years old, was held hostage in a backyard fortress of tents and sheds. Investigators discovered that she now has two daughters, 11 and 15 years old, who police believe were fathered by alleged kidnapper, 58-year-old Philip Garado. DeGard was kidnapped as she waited for a bus on the way to school. Garado is now behind bars, charged with kidnapping, rape, and conspiracy. His 15-year-old wife, Nancy, is facing some of the same charges. A shocking story out of Antioch tonight. An 11-year-old girl who was kidnapped from South Lake Tahoe has turned up alive 18 years later. Police found that J.C. DeGard, who is now 29 years old, was held hostage in a backyard fortress of tents and sheds. Investigators discovered that she now has two daughters, 11 and 15 years old, who police believe were fathered by alleged kidnapper, 58-year-old Philip Garado. DeGard was kidnapped as she waited for a bus on her way to school. Garado is now behind bars, charged with kidnapping, rape, and conspiracy. His 55-year-old wife, Nancy, is facing some of the same charges.
All right, big news from space, Tokyo. Tell us about it.
Astronomers have found a planet that is right outside of our universe that they have called Karat 7b. It is 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which cannot sustain human life. They are hoping to find a planet that is a little farther away from a sun or heat that can sustain life.
So is this the first time this has happened?
No, this is not the first time it happened. Actually, they have found about 300 planets other than Karat 7b that they were unable to, that they know that life could not sustain on.
Why is this different?
Because this planet, Karat 7b, is not, all the rest of the planets are gassy or not solid, and Karat 7b is.
Bad. You said, your first line, you said that this planet was discovered.
Oh God, I hate this.
And again, just tell us the story. Tell your mom the story.
Oh God. Do I have to say yes, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
Okay, tell us the big story from space.
Okay. Astronomers have found a new planet, Karat 7b, which is outside of our solar system. This planet is 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which cannot sustain life because of the temperature. Astronomers have found nearly 300 other planets that were either gaseous or were not solid. Fortunately, this planet is neither gaseous and it is solid, but it is too hot to sustain life.
See?
Yeah.
Sounds better.
Okay.
Doesn't it better? Yep.
I believe in teleprompters.
Good time.
How's everybody doing here? What do you think of all these debates? Good and welcome to AAU Chat. We are joined this morning by Alex and Tokyo talking about gay marriage, very controversial topic here in the Bay Area. Alex, go ahead and tell me, you are for gay marriage.
Yes, I am for gay marriage. The reason I am for gay marriage is because I have family members who are also gay and lesbian, and I think a lot of people are being discriminated against them because they're saying that they don't have constitutional rights, and I believe that they should have the same constitutional rights as marriage as people who are defined as a man and woman. They should have the same equal rights as everybody else.
Tokyo, you disagree?
I disagree completely. First of all, me having a religious background, I say that, and I have a lot of people who will support me, that there is Adam and Eve. There is not Adam and Steve. It's just the way that it is. I believe that if they want to have the same exact rights as everyone else, then as far as healthcare and things like that, some jobs do provide them with that type of healthcare for a significant other or things like that. But that does not mean that they necessarily have to get married. Marriage it should be between a man and a woman.
What about that? Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, Alex.
She kind of cornered me on that one. And she sure did. So I'm trying to figure this out.
But you know, I mean, yes, you have friends and family who are gay. They should have the same rights. But why should they have the same rights as straight people?
Because we are all God's children. We should all be created as equal and be treated fairly with respect as everybody else. We shouldn't.
So is it unfair that gay people cannot get married?
Basically.
Why?
Because it's kind of discriminating to that fact.
That's like saying that an adulteress or somebody who commits adultery, that we should say that, we should let them do that because we should let everyone be equal. That's not true. We should not let them. They're not equal to me at all. As straight people at all. They're totally separate from us. They're not the same at all from me.
So you think that gay people are the same?
Yeah. Inside, not. What counts is on the inside, not the outside. That's what it counts.
All right. On that note, thanks for joining us.
Oh God, she cornered me on that one.
She actually didn't.
Yeah.
Tokyo, I know you want to be big in the business world. You tell me why we should hire you.
Look, there's a lot of things that I'm not good at, but the one thing I do know is news. And I know how to articulate what goes on every single day. And I know that I can be the best asset that you have in your company. Not only am I a perfect researcher, I consider myself a perfect researcher. I know that if there is something that I do not know, that I can go out and find what you need me to know. Also, I am, if I don't know something or if there's any task that I don't know, then I know that I can try to find out. I'm done. I'm messed up.
No, you're going very, very